Pills of Trust from the Spirit author Diaz da Cruz, psychographed by Andre Morera. Take each day the pills of trust in the Father, and feel yourself connected to the source of all the power and kindness that will lead you towards happiness and inner peace.
Hello, dear friends. We are delighted to be here with you for another beautiful and enlightening message from the book Pills of Trust from the Spirit, Dr. Diaz da Cruz, psychographed by Dr. Andre Moreira. The reason we are engaging in this beautiful study is because all of us deserve and need to nourish our souls. And what better way to nourish our souls rather than taking a pill of trust in the divine, in our own Christ consciousness, in the Master himself, and in the fact that we are all beautiful, loving children of God. As Dr. Diaz da Cruz mentioned to all of us in our previous study, the first message of this beautiful book, we are all divine dreams of the Creator, destined for loving aims and purposes. How beautiful is that? That was the meditation or affirmation that set the tone for all of us. How does it feel, dear listeners, to be loving dreams of the Creator? Feels good, doesn't it? And today there's more. Today, Dr. Diaz da Cruz will invite us to experience a new day within our hearts.
A new day in your heart. Watch, dear soul, as the rising sun announces itself and foresees the beginning of a new and blessed phase of growth and progress. Calm your heart during struggles, pain, neediness, or anxiety, so as not to allow desperation to overtake your heart and envelop it within the darkness of self-denial, pushing you away from your profound reality. Guard hope and optimism as your true goals and effective instruments that are capable of guiding your present efforts. It may be tomorrow that your trial comes to its end, and life crowns you with the laurels of victory and joy for your spiritual achievements, thereby opening a new field of action, work, and inner realization for you. See the rising of the day after dawn's darkness, and remember that those difficulties that you encountered at various times were either chosen or brought on by you through your free will. They are saintly invitations for your happiness and for your own renovation and reconnection with love and with the Creator. Look then at yourself, without self-pity and without becoming disheartened. Look then at yourself, without self-pity and without becoming disheartened. Connect yourself to the Creator as best you can, and let the forces on high bathe your heart and offer to you those forces required to conclude your redeeming and necessary trials. These will establish your inner peace, since the dawn is momentary, and the new day already is foretelling you that it is the time of light, blessings, joy, and peace for your soul.
So what spoke to your heart throughout this beautiful message of hope, Mark?
I have in my head right now, and it sort of touched my heart, that the trials that we face, all the things that we go through and are are, as it's said here, redeeming and necessary. They're brought on to us in many cases by our own free will, and that we can encounter these saintly invitations for our happiness. It's so interesting to think of life when we want to complain about something, or we want to say something's wrong, to remind ourselves that these are invitations for happiness. These are invitations for us to remind ourselves that these are trials that may have actually been chosen by us in order for us to begin to renew ourselves and to connect more, whether it's to spiritual, to the divine forces and guiding our actions and our heart, or something along those lines. It's something that we might be actually being invited to experience, and this is so important to realize. And I'm very happy that this message, A New Day in Your Heart, tells us this wonderful, 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 inspiring, gives us this inspiring message.
That's right. And especially now when all around the world we are witnessing so many changes, be it political, economical, social, or even spiritual changes. This reminds us that life on earth is not permanent. That is, that oftentimes, as Dr. Dias da Cruz is reminding us, changes will occur according to the divine creator, according to the light of the divine creator, as invitations for our growth. So usually the situations which we consider most challenging are only kind opportunities for us to step out of our comfort zone. Because, for example, let us think of a little seed. If we compare our divine potential to the potential inside of a little seed, we may be able to better picture or visualize the impact of this message. When we see ourselves as a little seed, we realize that for the seed to grow beyond the cradle or beyond the soil, it needs to break free. Of course, it's more comfortable for the seed to stay on its cradle because it's a familiar environment. The seed is protected. The seed is literally covered and surrounded by pillows, natural pillows that nature provides. So of course we could argue that from the point of view of the seed itself, it would be much better for the seed to stay where it is. Because after all, the seed is in its own environment. It's comfortable. It doesn't have to do much. And it's there. That's it. Why bother going beyond it? But if we take this analogy a step further, we could argue that it's important to go a step further. Because if we don't break out of our comfort zone, we may not be able to enjoy the opportunities that the Creator gives us to blossom and reach our full potential. How can one tiny little seed, for example, become a very tall and robust tree? Because in each of its stages of growth, starting with the seed and ending with a mature tree, the plant has to go beyond its comfort zone. So God, if we observe nature, the loving Creator, allows every living being to have this opportunity to go out of their comfort zones, not to punish us, not to torture us, not to make us feel uncomfortable for the sake of feeling uncomfortable, but rather because the creator of the universe already sees us as perfect, already sees us as fulfilled in terms of our spiritual potential. So the creator, in her loving vision, embraces us and allows us to go through opportunities that are challenging, just so we find the tools to overcome them within ourselves.
Yeah,
Oh, but Carolina, I don't have those tools. Yes, you do. Because all of us are loved by the Creator in the same exact way. Also, how come some people have more challenges in their lives than others? Because each of us have our own needs. So God, the Creator, literally tailors our educational plan for us. Mark and I, right, Mark? We are both teachers. Mm-hmm. So we know that our students sometimes have individual educational plans. Guess what? Each of our reincarnations on Earth represent an individual educational plan that God, the ultimate educator, creates for us. So because that plan is tailored for our growth, we go through different situations according to our needs. Yeah. Isn't that beautiful?
It is, and I find interesting in the message that from God's perspective, any day, any new day is an opportunity to grow. Any new day is an opportunity to get out of a difficult circumstance. Mm-hmm. It could happen any day.
Right.
And we are, in a way, we may find that we live in a hopeless situation in some ways. Perhaps, if it's addiction or financial difficulties, whatever it could be. But this message gives us hope, and it gives us hope by saying, see the rising of the day after dawn's darkness, and remember that those difficulties that you encountered at various times were either chosen by you or brought on by you, and so forth. But the point is that a new day is a new day. That any day is a day for us to... it may be tomorrow that your trial comes to an end and life crowns you with the laurels of victory and joy for your spiritual achievements. In a way, we are capable of, and we're being guided to do so, but we're also very capable of doing the effort that will allow us to be able to progress and grow. And it's so important, but we have to, I think the message, and it's not directly stated in this message, but I think it's clear if you read the lines, we grow and develop by following the Divine Master's words, by connecting with the Divine within.
Absolutely.
And this isn't a message to say, oh, you've got a new day in a new day for your success, your financial success. Any day now, God is going to grant you, that job you wanted. Well, maybe, but this may be because this is an important opportunity for you to grow and progress in your own reincarnatory plan. And so in this message, I think we're seeing hope and optimism for those that follow the divine wisdom, for those that are on that path, for those that are putting the effort forward to change and open their hearts, right, to the divine within. And this is that announcement that's rising, right? That, hey, everyone who's following the divine within and the divine master's words and the words of Jesus, this is what we hope for, and this is something that is part, you know what I mean? Like, this is something that's going to, those difficulties that you're encountered, that's something that as you go and you look through your life, you're going to find that those were chosen by you. You're going to make the changes that you need to make, and boom, something new will happen. That's what it seems like this message is saying.
Yeah, it's very beautiful, and building upon what you said, Mark, I think the Creator, the loving Creator, grants us the challenges just so we can overcome them. Actually, I believe firmly that the Creator expects us to overcome the challenges in the same way that we expect a seed to break through the ground and grow upwards before
Right.
she becomes a full-grown tree.
Right.
In the same way that we expect the seed, the small little baby seed, to have that breakthrough moment, literally, I believe firmly that the Creator has the same plan for us. So every new day, as Dr. Diaz da Cruz is inviting us to think about, is one new opportunity that we have to break through, to go beyond the challenges of our lives. Because if the challenge is given to us, is because we shall overcome it. Since we are divine within, as you mentioned, we are more than capable to learn from the lessons that life gives us. And the moment we learn, we pass that level. Once again, we are teachers. So the moment our students pass the test, they are allowed to move forward. The same is true in the school of life. In the moment we show that we learned from that opportunity, life allows us to move forward. So next time we have a test in the school of life, we can rejoice because God is saying, you are ready. I really truly believe that you learned the lesson. Can you show it to me? As soon as you show it to me, we are going to move forward. But how the question then becomes, how do I show to God that I have learned the lesson? Instead of rebelling against the test and saying, oh, I don't want to take it, I don't want to study, I don't want to do it, don't give me homework, we say, oh, I'm really excited to embrace the opportunity. Thank you for trusting me. I know I can do it. And then we just try to stay serene because we trust in the divine within. Of course, this is a challenging exercise. So what we could propose to ourselves could be to try something new for the next 24 hours. Nothing in nature, if we observe nature, nothing in nature jumps through gigantic hoops. Everything in nature is transformed gradually. For example, flowers. Flowers don't blossom just because. If I want a flower to blossom, it doesn't matter how many times I tell that flower, blossom, 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 it won't blossom until it's time. And when it blossoms gradually. Sometimes it takes days or even a week or even 3 weeks or months for one flower to blossom. So of course we can't expect to become a Mother Teresa, for example, overnight. So we respect our divine nature, trust the divine within, and start with what we could call baby steps. So what we could exercise doing for the next 24 hours is to try a little tiny something new. That something new, for example, could be changing our thought pattern at least once in the next 24 hours. If I think something negative, once I can try to shift to something positive. If I feel angry, for example, in the next 24 hours, once I can practice breathing in and out before responding. If I have the opportunity to help someone, once I will say yes, even if I'm pressed for time. If I have a chance to read a new book, at least I will read one paragraph within the next 24 hours. If I'm thinking of a friend who I haven't talked to in a while, at least I will write that friend a message within the next 24 hours. So thankfully, a new day to our hearts, as Dr. Dias da Cruz is inviting us to meditate, is a new day with beautiful gifts. It's up to us to look for those gifts. And so how do we find those gifts? According to the pews of trust that Dr. Dias da Cruz is blessing us with today, we could guard in our hearts hope and optimism. At least here in the United States, Mark, we are undergoing a great change of scenario with the coming of the new president-elect. And it would be an important change for us to guard hope and optimism, even when maybe the majority of people feel otherwise. So if we could, when we hear comments from people, I don't know what's gonna happen, I'm scared, we've never been through this before, what can I do? Instead of pointing to more fear, we could say, how about if we said a prayer for the president-elect and his team? That would be one little tiny small change that could start a new day, not only for us, but for the nation as well. And some people may say, oh, but I'm only one person, I can't do much. According to Jesus, the ultimate master, our governor, guide, and model, yes, we can, and this is not a political statement. The reason we say that is because Jesus has said, let your light shine. You may do all that I can do and more. These are not my words at all, or Mark's words. These are words coming from the Master. Not even Dr. Dias da Cruz has said that. These are words from Christ Jesus. So let us not doubt, let us have faith, and let us allow our light to shine one day at a time. So, to celebrate the new day that we are going to create through a small but consistent effort, let us say a beautiful prayer of gratitude.
Thank you, dear mentors, for this beautiful message of hope and love that reminds us that by taking in the beautiful messages of hope and optimism, that we can overcome so many difficulties. Thank you so much for setting us on the pathway of spiritual growth, and by creating obstacles sometimes in our pathway, Let's see these obstacles as blessed opportunities. And let's see higher purposes to all that we experience in our lives, both our failures and our successes. For we are all children of God, destined for greater spiritual growth and development over time. Thank you for this blessed reincarnation that is giving us this beautiful opportunity to grow and be ever more greater instruments of love and hope, both to ourselves and for others. So be it.
So be it. So we look forward to renewing ourselves from inside out. And as we undergo this process of renewal, we would like to let you guys know that the pure trust that we will intake tomorrow is entitled God is the Father. Doesn't it feel good to know that we are all part of the same universal family?
Absolutely it is.
Yes, that we feel the love because the love of the Creator always feels good. And we would like to send all of you an immense embrace of gratitude and wish you many blessings. God willing, we will see you again for another beautiful View of Trust.